Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. I was saying the other day that even the idea of just being to just be can also become a position. That I found a way to be free, and the way to be free is to just be. But in the just be, the I who is doing the just being is not there. I wonder if it's clear like that. You see, many times we can decide to just be. I'm going to just be. It is still a mask. Empty of all masks, you are naturally just being. Completely open, completely empty of any position. Being is here effortlessly. That's why we call this the pathless path, where actually there is no way, there is no strategy, there is no practice that will make you that. Why? Because you already are that. Therefore, as Bhagavan said, true knowledge is just the dropping of ignorance. It is not the picking up of something new. That's why Bhagavan also said that the words of Satsang are just the thorns that we are using to remove the thorns which are already embedded. What are these thorns? These thorns are the beliefs we have about ourselves, the conditions we have about ourselves. I am this way, I am that way, I like this, I don't like this, these are my friends, these are my enemies, these I have grievances against, these I really desire. All these conditions, at the center of which is the individual idea of me, the identity of I. This is ignorance. Just these false ideas about ourselves, they are being dropped. But you will not become something other than what you already are. You see? The journey from person to being is transformative only in the sense of the dropping of the person, not the creation of a new being. This is a very important point which gets mistaken many times. It is not something new which is being added on. To use a metaphor, we can say that it is just this, what I call conceptual dust. It is being shrugged off now. So what happens is that the bath in the Ganga has already happened this moment. All the dust is off. But as consciousness, you can decide to pick up some more. Have a dust bath with the mind. But as you remain empty of these notions, then the notion of person doesn't have any room. So as we remain conceptless, it is the mind which has run out of moves. Is it? Unless the remain conceptless itself has become a concept. Now, you might feel that if I'm empty of notion, what does that have to do with the self? Have I found the self? I didn't find the self. Where is God? You see, this might be an idea. But this is not true. You are actually always experiencing only the truths. That's why Maharaj said, you are not experiencing suffering, but you are suffering, you are experiencing. You are experiencing only the truths. You are suffering from your mental interpretations of it. You cannot suffer from that which is naturally here without any interpretation. No suffering is possible. You can look at this in some depth if you like. What is an example of suffering?
Believing a thought. Any thought.
Believing a thought. So suppose now Krishna is sitting here. Sitting. The mind can come and say, I don't like to.
No, I
don't like the way he's sitting. You know? So that notion can come. And if that notion is believed, then that becomes a grievance. So this, the experience is just an experience. Certain sensations moving about. But when the interpretation comes, then it comes with its likes and dislikes. So anything that we call suffering, so this is an example of grievance. The other example could be, let's say, guilt. Some word emerged from here. The mind can come and say, you shouldn't have said that. That didn't sound, did that hurt him? Really like that. And if that is believed, then that becomes guilt. But you see that without these ideas, what is appearing is just appearing. You see? Now, when all of this is appearing, what are you? Don't try to interpret it. Don't be quick to the answer. Are you an object along with the rest of the appearance? Again, I'm saying I want no answers. As you are empty of any emotion, what do you find yourself to be? And I'm emphasizing over and over, I don't want answer because our idea of knowing has become this, I have the right concept of it. So I'm saying I'm not interested in any concept that you come up with. The question has been asked, you leave the question unmolested by any notion. If any notion comes, you let it come and go. Don't bother with it. Because I'm not interested, and you also don't be interested. The question is that this appearance is happening. All that is appearing is appearing. What are you? Are you also an appearance? Are you also an object? What is aware of all of these appearances? Is that also an object? And you are not confused about this at all in reality. You see, you might, your concepts might be getting mixed up, but that is not your confusion. That is the confusion of the mind. So this secret I want to tell you all today that, and I've told you before, but as you are empty of any notion about yourself, the truth is here. The truth is completely apparent to you. You don't have to take a step. You don't have to move an inch to find the truth. And so when Papaji used to take a different approach, he would say, okay, you want the self? Just for a fraction of a moment, don't think. You see? So when he used to say, don't think, in that moment, the mind would just stop for a moment. And the truth is completely apparent. You see? Now, I don't usually say don't think because that becomes a thing also then. You know, the thoughts are just coming. So then, oh, I can't stop thinking. So don't worry about that. But you see that as you are empty, as you allow these notions to come and go, what you are is completely present. You are aware of your existence. Don't have to struggle with it at all. Don't have to make this a conclusion. That whatever judgment, conclusion, concept you might be believing about yourself, the truth never changes. The truth is not waiting for your mind certificate. The truth is not waiting for your attention to settle down. Whatever benchmark you have created for yourself to be free, to find freedom, the truth is not waiting for that benchmark. You might have said, but I need to settle into this. No, truth is not waiting for that. I just have to stabilize a bit more. Truth is not waiting for that. Because in all of this, the I is the false one. It is not the true I. The ocean is not waiting for the waves to have a certain quality before it becomes the ocean. But the ocean, strangely enough, gave itself the power to identify with the wave. To believe the idea that I am a wave. That's why I've been asking recently, how long will you believe yourself to be this just this set of sensations. And if you want to believe that you are a set of sensations, then take a bigger jump and believe that you are every set of sensation, every visual, every sound, every taste. That at least is closer to the truth of what you are than to believe that amongst the millions, I am just these few thousand. You know what I mean? The body is a set of visual perception and sensations of the body that we call off the body. But the experience is only of a certain set of sensations which we have conceptually divided and made a me out of it. There is no actual me there. We have used a term, I or me, to divide up, to define a certain set of sensations. But in actuality, if these sensations are me, then the sensations of the sound of the traffic of the road also, the sensations of your heads looking confused or nodding are also me. All sensations are me. Why limit yourself? What is the basis of this limitation? It is not tangible. But the greater truth is that in reality, I am beyond even all of this. All of this is an aspect of me, but it doesn't cover that aspect of me, which is not in phenomena, beyond all sensation. So I am pointing out your greatness to you, that this entire universe, whatever you can perceive, is just one aspect of what you are. That which is aware of all of this is not contained in any of this. How big of a bucket do you need to fill all your awareness in it? It can sound like a funny example, is it? But when we consider ourselves to be an object, this is exactly what we are doing. It's only that we are considering this body as the bucket. So if awareness can fill this bucket, why can't it fill that bucket? It is not in this body bucket. This body bucket is just a bucket of flesh, blood, similar constructs as that. Where is that which witnesses all these perceptions? When you have a dream, the entire dream is there, and there is a body also. But where are you? In which bucket in the dream are you contained? This is the projective power of consciousness that can create these unlimited dreams. But you are that from which even this appears, arises. And no matter what arises, it does not touch you, it does not harm you. Because you are not in phenomena. So this is the joke, that which is so beyond even the entirety of all the physical realms. that is now considering itself to be contained in this tiny bucket of the body and constantly chanting the mantra, what's in it for me, what's in it for me, what's in it for me. And it is even more vicious than that. Because not only is it saying, what's in it for me, the mind is also saying, preferably me first and me alone if I can have it. I want to be the special one. So not only is there this great misunderstanding about who you are, we're trying all our level best to make this misunderstanding special. Isn't it? How many times have we heard this report that, Ananta, I'm completely fine if none of us are getting it. But it's most irritating if people around me are having all these insights and realization, but I seem to be lost. It's, it's the same. What's in it for me and me first, me alone. This me is our greatest misunderstanding. And it does not survive this moment. This misunderstanding is dealt with automatically by the truth in every moment. But the desire to play with me can make it seem like it continues over a period of time. And this is what I've been pointing all of you to. That right now, you are complete without the notion of completion. You are more special than any specialness that you can fathom. The sun and the moon and the earth are tiny pebbles for you. What specialness do you want as the body now? What I am speaking is not fantasy. What you are believing about yourself is the fantasy. You are that which is so beyond all of this. There are 9 faces on the camera and Zoom. How to deny this experience? But I have not said, is this experience not contained within you? Only when you define your container as this body, do you feel that this experience is outside of you? Why would consciousness want to deny its own projection? We are only saying that you are not contained in it. You are something which is beyond this. All this objective universe is just an aspect of you. And that we can debate later whether that which is an aspect which comes and goes is real or not real. I'm not even getting into that right now. Where are you in all of this? What do you consider yourself to be? Who is this I? All positions are false. Which has been trying to take position can be safely dropped. The prodigal son has been trying to attain the glory of the Father, believing itself to be separate from the Father itself. When this notion of separation is dropped, there is nothing left to attain. This, this me, why me, why me? I see the truth, I see it. You see? The mind uses even our deepest spiritual insights, make it about me. I found it. Why does this still happen to me? How quick we are to pick up here. You could be experiencing your very original self in which there is no me and no you. All this universe might be just a little bit of shining light. But in the midst of all this, your mind could come and say, but okay, this is good. What does it do for me? You see? You better sacrifice this me at the heart of the Sadguru. This is our biggest attachment. We might feel like our biggest attachment is our family, our children, but actually it is only because they are my children. So me is primary. My plants in the garden, my house, my body, my relationship. Imagine if you cared about every relationship as much as you care about yours. How would that be? How, imagine if you cared about everyone's money as much as you care about yours. Everyone's freedom as much as you care about yours. No, it's me, me, me. We often call this ego the cat. Actually, we should call it a goat. Always. Every time you're going me, know that it is the goat talking, not you. Nobody can use this knowledge for any sort of personal benefit. Just like knowing that it is a movie doesn't change the content of the movie. Nothing has to happen. It is what the Zen masters were trying to say when they said, before enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. After enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. Because this, yeah, and I usually say or not, but it is a chop to this expectation that something should be different in my life now that I'm discovering the truth of who I am. If you truly are, then you know that it is not this bucket of flesh and blood which is discovering the truth. So why should things be different for this? There is still attachment to this set of sensations. You are not contained in this universe. If anything, the universe is contained in you. If you give it the notion of reality, it is contained in you. If you don't even give it the notion of reality, the universe has never happened. But either way, you remain untouched. The mind has convinced you that reality is a fantasy and fantasy is reality. That's why when I say something like, you are not contained in this universe, to the mind it seems like a big fantasy actually. But just see for yourself that all that which is perceived, you are not contained in that. This is apparent to you actually right now. This is not a fantasy. And the idea that you could be something limited is so fantastic. It is complete fantasy. And yet this seems to have become our idea of reality. Who are you? What are you? Where are you? Just a little bit of looking at this will make it clear that no sensation can contain me. I cannot be a perception. Who is perceiving all perceptions? And what is aware of that? is that in opposition, in resistance to anything that is. That's why we say that resistance equals ego. Ego equals resistance. What is just is. The interpreter comes and says it should be another way. This is not it. It's some idea, some concept. Empty yourself of all concepts. I don't even want to say vomit them out because I know what some of you are up to. Like vomiting it out and then eating the same food again and then vomiting it out. That's why it seemed like, when is this going to get over? Now, if you like. If you don't pick up the same old stories again. That is much more effort. I am not giving you a difficult task. The task is done for all of you. I don't need to know whatever your circumstance might be right now. I can tell you right now it is done. Now, what is your move? Happy to remain empty without story? And the notion, what's in it for me? Or the notion, but, it's still not something comes. Are you still so attracted to this voice? It brings nothing of value to you. Let it go. One line of Ashtavakra is enough. The mind is complex. Let it go. You will not get to the truth with the mind. The mind is the machine of the false. It is the machine of misery. You will not get it with your intellect. You cannot reason your way into the truth. You cannot compute it. So both these devices are useless. Put them down. Did you stop being? As you put down your mind, did you stop being? Are you not aware of this? No reasoning is needed. No concept is needed. No effort is needed. What to do if I keep reminding you that you are like the space in the room, but you keep believing that you are the mosquito in the room? I can just keep reminding every day. So it's almost time for Guruji's silent sitting from Sahaja. Hope all of you will join that and enjoy the presence of the Sadguru. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki
Jai. Sadguru Shri Ananta Ji ki Jai.